Yo. How are you guys? Let me bring the microphone. Something moved here. Like I feel the microphone was closer once. But here we are. Hello, good morning. How are you guys doing? I feel there will be some self-torturing happening today. Benecke! Mir ist nicht bewusst, dass Max Benecke einen Bruder hätte. Wie ist die Lage? Did you guys take note of the mess around F1 esports? Like it's discouraging to say the least. So what I'm doing is I should probably stream this, right? 1 second, just have to sort my windows here. So we want to go to Chrome and we want to tell it to show us this window. I'll have to make it bigger so it fits the screen. There we go. It's better. You might have seen that there's now, well you can partly see it, but the camera is about to hide it, that there's now iRacing on Popometer, and I'm particularly bad at iRacing compared to, well, ACC and any other sim racing game. So today I'll have to learn some iRacing because now we have data for iRacing from the fast guys. Has to be said, there's also let me go page back. You'll see for, let me just show you real quick. So we're on iRacing on the data packs page, and then if we just filter by the Coach Dave Academy, they have already contributed 24 data packs to the current 2024 season 1 on iRacing. So they have all the GTPs, GT3s, and whatnot. And we also have a couple of our own teammates in BS Plus that do data packs. The first track this week is Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, or in short, I think they all just say Mosport. And it's a tricky track. Reminds me of, I don't know, probably Road Atlanta or something similar to that, somewhat. And I want to do a GDP. The GT3s on iRacing, not my thing. So I will start with, well, I should probably take the BMW, right? But I feel the Cadillac is nice too. Though they do the same time, so I'd be interested. Let's start with the Cadillac, alright? So I already hit download, so no brakes. Yeah, I already downloaded, so now bear with me for a second. I just have to move the files into the correct folders. That should only take a second. So there is setups. Then there is the Cadillac V-Series GTP. So we're gonna put the setups in there. Only takes a moment. And then also what we have is we have ghost files and replay files. I don't think I want to use the ghost actually. And we also have the what they call OLAB and BLAB file. iRacing has this Delta inside the game, right? This Delta app, if you want to call it that way. And you can actually load the sector times of the reference lap, so you kind of can compare a bit better while driving already. I'll check with the, we don't have it in this Cadillac pack, but we might have it in the BMW hybrid V8 hybrid pack later, and then we can already use that. But for now, what we want to see is on most sport with Q fuel, we should be doing 103.4. With race fuel, we should be doing 104. In 24 degrees, 39 degrees track. Actually, let me start iRacing. And I first have to log in, probably. Because I'm in the wrong account. So you will have to give me a second to log into my correct account. I'm gonna do that in a separate window, though. Why does the chat disappear every time here? So, members, iRacing. Who actually remembers their password? I don't. Yeah. 1 second, I have to go to my password vault. Or does it lock me in from the website? That would be Giga. You're not logged in. No, it doesn't. Would be good if iRacing were able to keep several accounts to selection in the user interface, so you can swap. That would be nice, but apparently we can't. So, password, Google, thank you. Now I need to enter. Jesus Christ. It can only take so long, so we'll see you in seconds. I'll have it sorted any second. Oh, actually, that password is not difficult. Okay, we're in. We are in. So I can probably go to the normal view. And iRacing requires updates, which is perfectly fine with me. Is it also? Okay, size is fine. Download. Admin123, yeah. No, actually I have cryptic passwords or passphrases and all stored behind another cryptic passphrase and YubiKey by now, so I feel secure, but it's a fucking pain. Well, it's it's painful. Passwords are painful. Please, every app, simply use the YubiKey or something like that. That would be really nice. And then I just have my finger tap it and we're in. That would be nice. Oh, no audio, Yannick. That's unlucky. iRacing updated. So we need to do a test drive. Welcome to the updated test drive modal. Here we have streamlined the process of setting up your test drive session in order to get you on the track quicker and easier. Let's see how quick we are. Let's see if I actually... Oh, I need to purchase cars as well. Yeah. GDP. I don't own any GDP, so this is going to be an expensive stream. Let's have the Cadillac add to cart. And let's buy the BMW right away as well, I think. Because we'll need to later, and I think you still save, right? Canadian Tire Motorsports Park Select. Oh, I have that. View card. Woohoo! I'm in something club. You probably shouldn't be seeing this, right? So, where's my camera again? Here. Submit payment. Complete purchase. So much about security. A receipt has been sent. Timo, that is accurate, but it's also because I simply don't own any content really. I mean, last time I bought something, it's like years ago. I mean, if we can I actually where's my results and stats? Can I see like my rating and all that in this licenses stats here? iRating for road. See, that's pretty much. I drove a bit in 2016. Drove a bit there, and then I stopped for 3 years. two and a half years, nothing. Then I did 1, 2, 3 races. Then I did nothing. Drove again end of 2019, drove a bit in 2020, and then I didn't drive for another almost 4 years. 20% off, yeah. Money on junk food. LMP2, Cannonball Sport, Hockenheim, yes sir, $45. Nice, Yannick, yeah. It is, we have not chosen pocket efficient hobby. M8 GDE, I might actually have that car. I don't have Mugello though. So I think during the stream we'll easily spend 100 euros on iRacing. Quick reminder, you can donate to the channel by becoming a member, by using Super Chat or something, by just going to Popometa website already and just getting iRacing to work. That's what you can do. So help me out of my dire financial situation because iRacing has ruined me. Okay, but you see, so I haven't played much. Back to just real quick, I want to show you what we can expect. Okay, so let's quickly go to browser, and now we can also take a look at the lap that in this case Pedro was doing here. So it's loading. Now we have it, and of course I have all the advanced features and everything. So we're gonna have Mosport Park here. We already have the track map, and that's why I also said it reminds me of Road Atlanta a bit. So a very short main straight, then a bit of large S curves, similar to Road Atlanta. Then we have this weird double left, which is also similar to Road Atlanta somewhat. Long straight, and then not a tight one, but say like a bigger chicane, corners getting slower towards the end. So it feels like Road Atlanta and Mosport Park are a bit similar, and also the track elevation. Just that I think in Mosport it's more extreme. So then I guess the main thing takeaway here is first braking here happening quite late in the lap. There's a bit of coasting here for the first corner. So there's first one is not quite flat out. Second one, not quite flat out, just a bit of rolling. Then was that 50% brake is what we're looking at here for turn, what must be 2, 3. I missed the corner. I missed turn 3. Actually, I need to add that. I forgot turn 3, guys. I forgot to add turn 3. I'll do that in the other window. 1 second. Tracks. Actually, I think you can see this. It's not a problem. There's no hiding here. So you can see green are all the tracks that have track maps. Music is loud. Really? Okay. Because I barely hear it. I thought it was quite low. But I'll turn it down, no worries. Music lower. Gotcha, mate. So all the green lines mean we have the track map, okay? So in the beginning. Hey Yuri, are you going to help me coach myself? So all the green roads have we have all the iRacing tracks at some point. Here you see on iRacing I've been quite busy having done track maps, just so we are covered for the first couple weeks. And now we want to go to what was Canadian Tire Motorsports part, which should be here. And I think we want to just go right to the edit part. And we also need to go to the show part, because I will need the meters. Why do I not have section 3? Okay, so we need a section here, turn 3, call it a section, and then we just need to know where it starts and ends. So turn 3 is going to be from 970 meters roughly, 970 to 1,450. So what did I say? 970, 1,450 at track part. Oh, actually it's done, update. And then we go back here, and if we press F5 now, we should see turn 3 as a selection, and now it's there. Turn 3 is back alive. So turn 3 has a 50% bleed off smoothly, brake input right back on power, no coasting. Wheels are spinning up a bit here, so I guess the traction control will interfere. We do not have in the iRacing telemetry, we don't have a marker for traction control active, we only have ABS. So we can only tell by these edges here, probably tire spins up and then tire wheel speed comes back down, that the TC was engaging most certainly. And then I want to show you how many channels we actually have, and I should probably bring the window over here, then I can look better to the camera. So these are all the channels that we have available, and that you can choose if you have the subscription. Okay, if you don't have the subscription, you just get the standard, like steering input, pedal input, gears. Hey Luke. And then if you have the subscription, you can choose from all these channels. Okay, and there are going to be some in there that are really, really useful. Right, you can, everything that iRacing provides to us, you can select and put in your chart, and you can reorganize them. Okay, you can make those bigger and smaller, whatever you want. Build your own sheet. Right now, you only have one sheet, but we're going to add this shortly, that you can build several sheets, so you don't have to juggle the channels all the time, because it's indeed a bit painful. So you will be able to save your sheets like you know in Motec, right? You have several sheets with different data channels because you want to find out different stuff. I feel for iRacing, we particularly want the yaw rate. So let's bring this up here a bit. We don't want the wheel speed as high. I probably won't need the wheel speed at all right now. Do we need the gear? I guess it will be more or less easy for me to judge gear, more for a beginner thing to find the gear, but we leave it on. RPMs, when the shift on iRacing, it's always next to limiter if I'm correct. And then we just shift up. I feel what could make sense is to have the yaw rate very close actually to the brake input, because the brake input defines how much the car rotates, am I right? And then we can have ABS just to see if it's engaging or not. And I think everything else for now I'll leave aside, but because it's more setup related stuff, not so much driving related stuff. Save the change, it's gonna reload. And then now we have the other channels here, and now you can see the yaw rate. And what particularly I want to show you is how the yaw rate kind of changes with the amount of braking. And if you coast, the car is going to be terroristically understeery. It's most likely going to look more pronounced for me because of course Pedro already knows how to drive this. So he creates that yaw rate just very naturally and makes the car rotate. For me, it will be much more unnatural to do that. So I'll need longer to figure out how much brake gives me how much rotation, and actually maybe too much, and then I'm going to spin. So we'll see that. Another thing you can see on iRacing, and this is what strikes me the most somewhat, is that you need very, very little steering angle, right? In ACC, you'd be turning much more. Also, okay, it's a GT3, but still, also in the GT3s in iRacing, you turn much less. So what do you see is like 40 degrees peak here. Next corner, 40 degrees peak. Again, 40 degrees of steering. This one, well, are we here? Where's the dot on the map? Hello, I lost track of you, sir. Still just 40 degrees, and then only when we come here, we have a bit more steering angle there of 90 degree almost for a very tight corner. Did Yuri die? So very little steering in iRacing compared to ACC overall, I'd say. And that is something that does... And look how smooth the braking is. Like, you'll never see me braking that smooth on ACC. Like, this is... Feels like the damper extending himself, not being an actual foot. So yeah, we'll see about all that. And the problem I often have is, now I need to figure out how to show you that. I am using IR FFB because anything else in iRacing completely puzzles me. Like, I cannot drive with a default FFB. It's completely numb for me. And the other thing is, because the steering is so sensitive around the center in particular on iRacing, if you do these tiny movements, the car is going to answer. And the problem I have is that the center of the steering wheel does not have any force feedback. It only comes in from 10, 15, 20 degrees or something. So the force feedback comes in quite a bit later than the car actually already responds to the steering. And therefore, on iRacing, I need to go through the VRS and I add a bit of friction and damping, like 10% friction, 10% damping to my VRS driver. And that gives the wheel at least some resistance around the center and prevents me from just steering way too much. So that's a bit of a trick because I'm just not used to steering so little, so to say. Can I actually bring those up? I need to adjust OBS for you to see that here. Let's go to stream, and then let me quickly add. Was it a window? A window that's gonna be VRS tool, and it already knows. No, that's not the VRS tool. It almost knows. Here, that's the VRS tool. We have that here. And we will have another that is another window, IRFFB. Okay, now it found that. So here are those, okay? Now this is, so the important thing is to go the VJoy variant, which I think is would be the low latency here. What the low latency does, it takes the iRacing FFB, keeps it, and then adds things on top. And the other option here, the IR FFB, it kind of removes entirely iRacing's own FFB and only takes shared memory telemetry based FFB, which has a bigger delay. But I think we're talking like 15, 16 milliseconds or something, which not ideal, but still fine. And the normal FFB has what, 4 milliseconds or something? Yeah, Yuri, and that's exactly the thing. I need that information to work myself towards that already a bit earlier. It's very weird. Like, I don't know, I've just always driven games where force feedback was giving me the key information, and for me, listening less to the wheel, looking more on the screen, going more by the visual rotation and sound potentially or so, it's just very unnatural for me. I need it all together combined, and if my wheel is numb, I'm a bit puzzled. And I noticed when I started using IR FFB, oh, you didn't actually see the drop down, right? So this was the low latency that I mentioned, and then you have the IR FFB variant, and there's a switching mode, this one, auto FFB. That would mean in low speed it switches to the telemetry based, and in high speed it keeps the iRacing FFB, I believe, because the delay would get too big or something. Anyway, we'll just go with what I felt nicest, and then I give myself the understeer feel, which is very weird. Like in AC, for example, if you use the enhanced understeer effect, what it does is makes the wheel suddenly go light, which is not realistic, but it removes all the resistance if you steer too much. And then what it does in ACC is And what they mean here is the more the tire loads up in ACC, the bigger the resistance in the steering wheel becomes until you overdo it. And you can feel like with the steering wheel getting heavier and heavier and heavier in ACC that you're approaching the limit. And then when the wheel stops building more resistance, then you know this is where the limit is. The force doesn't drop afterwards, but it doesn't grow anymore because there's not more load building on the tire in ACC. And this resistance is what I'm completely missing in iRacing. And this is what the understeer effect essentially does here, right? It prevents me from steering too much because there's now a force resisting my dump input. And okay, the oversteer effect intensity, I guess the whole oversteer thing in iRacing is fine, okay? That's there, but I also feel that's the only information iRacing FFB has by default, like the actual game side FFB, and using IR FFB just, I don't know, extends all that a bit, adds a bit of suspension bump, just feels more alive. There's no actual use, I think, to this bump stuff and all, but it feels much more connected. And just quickly checking the M's, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll check that later. Irrelevant for the time being. And then I think what we're gonna do is maybe we should start driving, right? Understeer wheel for this will all change once I load up the car because IR FFB changes the FFB you have per car, so we don't really have to worry about anything. I just have to quickly move these down the order here so that they're below the game once it has started up. Hey Yuri, what's the typical weather? Because I saw Pedro was driving here, what was 25, 39 degrees, 25 air, 39 track. But what do you normally use? What's the setting? So shall we go through that maybe? Shall we go through that? Where is the UI? Here? And sorry, there's so much to handle because the scene wasn't planned. Let's do a test drive. Okay, so we bought the car. We are starting with the Cadillac. Select. Most sport park is selected. Does it have actually different layouts? It doesn't, right? So what's the weather we're going to choose? So temperature 25, I believe is what the data pack said. Just going back here real quick. 24, 39, 24. But I guess I'm not actually defining the track temperature because that is probably more of a result of everything. Default. What's default? Where's the default button? Reset to defaults. Same for time. But what do you set for the track? So not just the weather, but the track conditions just generate, or do you give it a percentage? Everyone just copies what VRS generates for that week. Yeah, I feared so. We'll also have to implement that feature that you can actually start with the session settings from the website. We'll look into that. I already did a bit of investigating. Developer says it looks possible, but we'll figure that out. So weather-wise, hey, if I go iRacing, even Tortellini stops by. He stops his day of doing high Mohawk labs to watch my iRacing stream. I appreciate that. What's wrong with ACC? What do you mean, Tomic? Nothing. It's just I'm introducing Popometer to iRacing, so we're gonna have to do some iRacing and show how bad I'm actually driving. So what do we do time of day wise? Also just default. Let's just see how it launches, okay? Weather-wise, if we match it, I'll just press drive and then we'll figure it out. Hey, Pi Delta, by the way. Oh, you go to the series or the test drive from there? I'm not that knowledgeable yet. Let's see what it comes up with after it has loaded for aeons. Jonathan, I agree, but we are getting GT2s and then we're gonna drive them a couple weeks. until we're back in GT3s. So I'm looking insanely, very much forward to AC2, giving us a bigger range of cars again, because it's good to go very deep in one class in the GT3s, but I'd also enjoy like more proper race cars every now and then. So we are on track, and where do we actually see? My god, info. 26 track, 26 degrees, 44 track. How much time difference do we have to expect in iRacing from a difference of 2 degrees air, 5 degrees track? Warmer better on track? Colder air better? Question? That's a lot of copium, Monsieur. How much time difference are we expecting in iRacing based on weather, just so we know? What does the what does humidity do, for example? Does it do anything? Marble conditions. Marbles and dust are left on track. Testing has moderately low usage. I guess that might be the biggest issue here for my comparison with the data, like track being at a different state. So how do you guys actually get to the same track state? So I'll just relaunch the session once, okay? Because somebody said go to the series, start from there. So I think that's going to be IMSA, right? Go racing, series list, IMSA. I guess it's here. And so how do I start a test session from here? Does that make any... Am I making sense? How do you start a test session from here? Test drive, okay. And does that... Okay, that does different time of day. And then I guess it does something different. So let's see what that results in. So colder better, I see. Shall we find out what that results in now? No, go to test drive. Huh. We'll figure it out. Like, I just want to know, and yeah, we definitely... Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm just kind of taking you on board with it. So now the air is colder, track is 31, but I can... And track usage is now 42%, so we have a big change. So let's just do some driving, all right? And then find out if I'm 5 seconds off, it is the track state. If I'm 1 second off, it's me. Good timing to end the music right here. I will probably have to set audio levels, but we figured out. Options, that is in sync, it is registering. And so now my first issue with the game is if you click on calibrating, you can actually do the pedals separately, which is good. Throttle fully. You do 100% there and down. Reset. So I don't want to go too high, so I don't have to press too much. End of straight. That is the 0 position. Nice. And now we do the brake. So who of the viewers has Heisingfeld Ultimates? And we have 4,096. That's the maximum input. 4,096 equaling 136 kilos or something. And before had it set to 2,800, but I feel we might want to go a bit higher there with the brake. How much do you want to? I know, Michael, that's the meme. So let's go to 2000, okay? 2000 maximum. It will be hard to set now. Just so I can't break maximum. So people probably calibrate this in a file, right? They don't actually do this on the pedal. But I'm fairly good. I'll take that. And now I always have this range at the bottom. So I'm pressing a tiny bit now before I actually get an input. So I want to have this. Just have a small movement there in the pedal when nothing happens. And then I gotta click. Done, just around the right point there. No clutch, okay, done. Steering wheel is fine. And all of his feedback is grayed out because we are actually doing this in IR FFB, which you already saw. So, oh, I should start Popometer so we know it's recording, and now it will do so. Popometer already automatically. Oh yeah, we need to load the setup, of course. My setup, save current setup, and no. And we're just going to load the race set here and be done. Hit a test. And now I'm scared. So what do I do on the first lap? Do I be... Okay, Yuri still there or any other? Like, I see nothing from inside the car. I should probably set everything differently, right? But at least we have a proper V8. Change to auto clutch. It should be auto clutch. I don't have a clutch. It should be auto, no? I think I did auto. Clutch should be auto. I know it was here in the pedals, but I don't want to go through this again. No, I think I had it set to auto. All good. Auto clutch. Ah. Well, what's wrong with the blip? What's wrong with the blip? Oh, okay. Speed limiter is also automatic. I didn't have that. But anyway. But I mean, but Tortellini, that's like 2019 Pascal already, so it's not new, and that's for the qualifying lap, of course. You tell me how audio levels are, guys. So let me go through the TC settings here just to see what they made. So front ARP is 1, rear ARP is 5, so this is already much more aggressive than the default set. Then we have TC on 4. Of course, no ABS, and then the car has brake migration, which is set to 0. So we're not actually migrating the brake. I guess brake bias is super low. And first I have to learn the track a little. Yeah. Good thing is if you have the friction, the wheel oscillation is not so bad. Okay, the TC is allowing the rear wheels to spin up, so we gotta be careful there. I feel fast. Okay, that's probably a double apex run. Then this one is gonna be even slower. And that's even slower, so... Okay, it auto-rotates like crazy. That's a Cadillac GDP. So first corner was just a tiny bit of a lift. Second corner was just a tiny bit of a lift. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, maybe I need to lift differently. Just copying right there from the data. See me lift there a tiny bit. Tiny lift and dead. But it's a beautiful crash. It crashes beautifully. Okay, so we learned that part. So maybe I lift a bit more in the beginning. Ah, copy. So we gotta be early entry. Yeah, I see. Oh, I cooked the tires, I think. Gotta go really slow for a minute. When you do iRacing, you get the impression that driving race car is actually difficult. What do you mean, Sapem? Do you play iRacing and you didn't know? The patches on the road add grip. Okay, there's more rubber, I get it. You live there? So we can probably also carry a lot of speed into this one. Okay, the car really wants to rotate with the dock. So first one was a tiny lift, right? That's the weird thing about iRacing. You just all of a sudden have more grip. When the car previously looks understeery, all of a sudden it turns. Saw that coming. That was a bit late or not aggressive enough. Yeah, I mean, you can tell I'm new. Tires are cold. They need what? How long? I saw that the pressures in iRacing, they are building for like 10 laps or something. So temperature inside the tire also raises for 10 laps. And what I also have to be much more careful is the throttle. Like from ACC, we're used to just slamming the throttle. Here the car has so much more power that we need to be more careful with the throttle. Yeah, and you can't just plan it. You really can only be full throttle when the car is almost perfectly straight. One lap tires should be good to go normally after wheezing, okay. Yeah. I definitely have to learn the layout first before we talk about actual lap times. Yeah, it seems a fourth gear corner. And I guess I should stay out of the TC for the most part, right? lap times. Oh, I'm far off. But we can carry much more speed here as well. .106 already. Now I'm driving against my ghost, not a fan. Now I have to beat it. Which means I start pushing, which means I start overdriving. Oh, I know, Robert. I just don't know where the track goes. I would set it up for the left once I know where he goes. Thank you. Yeah. It's an intuitive user interface, I just did not look at it. But yeah, using throttle there probably unnecessary, so it should just brake later and carry more speed to begin with. The problem in iRacing is once you do a couple clean laps, you get more confident, and confident kills you. Oh yeah, going tighter helps massively. And I'm barely steering. That's I think that's the most tricky part for me. It looks almost like we could do this flat. That probably kills the tires, but we have a long straight ahead, so it'll probably be fine. Spinning it up a bit. Okay. So basically you go faster throughout the stint. So what you're telling me is I'm still bad. I'm not improving, just the tire getting better. Uh-oh. The thing is, you so easily lock the rears under braking that you rather lose the rear than locking the front with these setups right now. I like the sound of the Cadillac, but I also have the BMW for afterwards, where we're going one after the other. Now let's try to brake into the 104s and just ignore the tire gets better. So this is also fifth, this is then fourth. And only the last one is third gear. Interesting. As soon as I'm throttled, the TC says no. Just gotta trust the grip. Oh, it just doesn't take any throttle there when rotating. There's no flat spotting? Yeah, but I mean, if the tire locks up, I still go straight. Like, it's still bad for the lap time. Okay, that was a lot left in the last bends. Oh, that was no cut, okay. turn, yes. More exit focus this time, less TC cut. This one is actually flat. That starts looking better. Massive gains onto the straight. I also have, I don't have it, but I can buy it, of course. The Honda. I'm not threading into the corners yet, really, because I'm just scared. But I'm trusting the grip more. Uh-oh. Grass has gotten better. Like, it was very deadly before, now it's not so deadly anymore. Hey, Conrad. Yeah, we're testing with... Actually, let me go back and let's get a first glimpse. Let's get a first glimpse of what my data says. How bad it actually is. Last lap wasn't too bad. Something there on my... Anyway. Well, we don't actually have to go to the garage. We just sit here and wait. So we're now... Let's go to Popometer website to my labs. And where's my Chrome button? Is it this? This is the Chrome button. So now you see it says lab detection progress. Since we did quite a long run, it will take a couple seconds, depending on how much usage there is right now on the platform. So we got to wait a bit for the labs to pop up. It first uploads the telemetry file after your run is done, because iRacing only creates the telemetry file once you go to the pits. Like, you can grab the information earlier and do several of these files, but then we had the issue that the mu converter that creates Motec files out of the iRacing telemetry files wouldn't work anymore. So we now made it in a way that both kind of tools can exist simultaneously. So we're not destroying the iRacing telemetry file, but this means we have to wait until end of session to upload it. And then the whole detection process happens on the server. So we got to wait a bit for the labs to appear here. So, bit of patience there. I mean, so far, I've done like 5 labs now, and I only died once so far. So you could almost say we're doing fine. We're almost doing fine. People do like me suffering. I learned that. Yeah, so for whatever, it's a bit slow still. We'll have to work on that. Yeah, okay. Waiting for the labs to pop up. So I don't want to expose the setup to you really, but while we have the browser open, I can have a quick look what they actually changed compared to the default setup. But I think overall it's just much more aggressive, probably runs more downforce. Let me see. And where is it? And it's overwhelming how many settings these cars have. Like, you probably, when you come from ACC, setup wise, you're going to start over understanding things in iRacing, or at least in the GTP cars, because they have so much more settings. Third spring, third damper, torsion bars, and then you have the torsion bar thickness and how many turns it's twisted and whatnot. Then it's not just the roll bar from 1 to 10, but you have different roll bars. You have a soft, a medium, and a stiff roll bar, and that has different blades, blah, blah, blah. So the settings multiply a bit. Power steering assist. Now that's actually something I might want to have lower, but anyway. And then somewhere should be the aero part, which is, well, of course, in the aero part. So wing, front right height, rear right height. Okay. Yeah. Some cars have adjustable roll bars while driving, indeed. So the laps are popping up now. Not yet my quickest in there, so we gotta wait a couple more, but now it takes only a couple seconds for them to appear per lap. Yeah, but I don't have all the buttons set up for that, so I'm not going to change anything while driving. I feel like this changing something while driving comes really late in the learning process. It doesn't really give me anything if I start adjusting the roll bar right now, because I don't yet feel the car enough for that. Okay, so now all laps have appeared. Took a bit long. We will try to improve that. Still, I'm not happy with that. Should be better. And let's actually take the quickest lap here, shall we? So gotta load mine, and then in the drop down I'll have a list of owned data packs and not owned data packs, and we are comparing to, well, it was race fuel, right? So we're comparing to the race fuel lab from Pedro here, which is a 1040. Click it and it is loading, and then we are there, and turns out we're losing everywhere. So that makes it harder to find the pattern. So let's go turn by turn. Okay, 210s, turn 1, 210s, turn 2, a bit in turn 3, which is the one I felt most comfortable on that lap. Turn 4 to 6, which is the tricky part down there. I'm actually happy I'm not losing so much there, just 2.5 tenths for still being very uncomfortable with the braking there. And turn 7 to 9, I actually still lose 3 tenths. And he's, interestingly, actually let's swap that around, because that's gonna that's the typical view we have. We have the, no, we're not gonna do that. We keep it like this. So my data is the solid line, reference lap is dotted line. So first thing interesting, he's gonna let go of the throttle here on entry a bit, rolling it into the turn, but then commits fully again a lot before the corner. It's a very typical pattern that I also see when I coach people on ACC, is that typically the fast guys have the minimum speed in the corner before the corner. That's what the car needs, right? We need to slow down to something like just about 230. Not that we have time looking at the speed while driving there, because everything goes rather quickly. But just kind of, as soon as he starts turning in, that's the key information here. As soon as he starts turning in, there's the lift. And I actually turn in at the same time, somewhat a bit earlier, okay, because my exit speed last corner, much worse. We're missing a lot of speed here, 10 kilometers almost on the straight already. So a proper lift there from a higher speed. So it doesn't make sense for me to do the same lift when I'm much slower there, right? It takes me quite a few meters longer to gather the same speed. And then interestingly, I keep kind of find that speed reasonable there. So there is a bit of I get the sense that how it should work, how much grip there is, how much speed the car can take. But then I'm lifting way long through the corner, right? Where he's already fully committed way before really committing to the apex there of the corner. Steering angle wise, I'm happy that I'm not turning too much here. So I'm actually more or less matching what Pedro does there. You can even see my that I'm running IR FFB. You can actually see that here because I have more of these bumps there, but I also might have been clipping the curb much harder than he was. So the main thing, live before, have the slow speed, accelerate through the corner. That's going to be the target. So we create that rotation here in the beginning, and then that should be enough to make it through. Steering angle wise, we're good. Apex wise, I'm a bit on the inside too early, so we want to put that later a bit, so where we can actually see this here. This is 240 meters, he's 250 meters, so it's probably at that speed a bit over 200. We're doing 60-70 meters per second, so we only want to be on the inside a tenth later basically, so it's almost neglectable, but still later apex. slow speed early, apex late, and apex definitely be after the middle of the turn somewhat, right? If you want to turn the, if you want to cut the corner in half, that's like here. And I'm on the inside before the halfway mark of the corner, and he's on the inside after the halfway mark of the corner. So same thing as an ACC, really. Late apex. Late apex, slow speed early for the first one. And an earlier lift, but only if we manage to carry more straight line speed there in the first place. Turn 2 looks like a similar picture. I arrive at much slower speed, but of course he was much earlier full throttle through the first turn. Line-wise, I think we are not too different. He is still... Actually, he actually knows where the apex is going to come, the first one, because I'm still flying blind there. Then he has the slow speed early as well and accelerates full power right early on there because he knows how far the car can go and he knows how much time he has to still rotate there and come back to the actual braking point. My lift there is more hesitant because I don't know how much will the car actually rotate if I start going off the throttle that much. That's my ACC brain kicking in. If you're high speed and just let go off the throttle, the car will rotate like crazy. And since we're doing 260 here, I'm going to be more careful. We probably need to check which deploy mode he was using in the ERS. Potentially has just more acceleration. He's not using the balance mode. We'll figure that out. But that's just me finding excuses. Then also you see I was a bit scared here, so I'm tapping the brakes to find magic rotation. Because I didn't trust the car to grip up here again. But I think that's down to not clipping that epic. So I need to find where the actual inside here is, because it's a bit blind, tricky. But we'll manage. Other than that, we are on the inside kind of at the same point. I'm just not clipping it enough. And there is a second apex, but we need to, in our formula, change the tolerance there, because probably the tolerance says 1 meter, 1.5 or something. If we increase the tolerance to 2 meters or something, it will show that apex there as well. But overall, the line is fine. I'm just not committing enough there. Same pattern with the going off throttle. He does that earlier. He does that more. Commits to it earlier. Same pattern with the slow speed. He has it earlier, I have it later. Okay, so as far as that goes, I think it's not too bad. Then turn 3, I'm losing the least, and you also see there I'm the closest with a pattern in the corner, right? So where we put the apex quite early. It's a very interesting corner because normally you have one apex late, one apex in the middle, but you very rarely have corners where the apex is actually early. And then you go wider and wider and wider because the corner opens. Because they just don't, these type of corners are just not built often on racetracks. And I don't know, in terms of braking input, throttle input, I'm not too unhappy. Like, it's not as smooth as what Pedro does here, but that's just inexperience. Yeah, but still in Monza, the apex is later. And you in ACC, you definitely have almost a double apex. You clip the apex first, go a bit wide, come back to the apex again. So it's double apex in GT3. Maybe GDP would be different in ACC as well, because the more you increase the speed, the much more downforce you have. And maybe that effect kind of doesn't require you to come back to the inside for traction. So it could be that just the speed we're doing here, which is much more than we have in Parabolica and the GT3, right? We're doing 160, 165 here or something. Which we can actually see here if we hover 1.6 meters and speed is 166 is his minimum speed and mine is 164 a bit later. Same pattern still, that I should do things earlier, but overall I'm happy with the line. He's more committed to the inside there. Okay, things to adjust. And then my throttle pickup is a bit more scared of the car still. But overall, I find the same level there, where the car is susceptible, how much it can take, which is the 70% mark pretty much. And then increase the rest there. And he's just more kind of direct to that point. Well, I'm a bit, let's see what happens. Okay, there's more. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, let's try more. And then we're there. So the hesitation, overall, the trail braking, I think I've nailed that. Almost. Just a bit choppy. Not as smooth, but this could be my lag, pedal settings. There's a lot of things because I don't have much pedal travel. I only have the force. So I might not be as smooth as he is right here. Steering angle, double checking, seems fine. Yaw rate, very, very similar, where we rotate and where we don't, right? He always does a bit more, but then this was very much in line with the track surface and the bumps there. Gearing, same choice. No ABS intervention here in the braking, which is good, which is pointless because the car doesn't have ABS, so ignore that. And maybe let me see if there's one channel I was interested in, which was if we actually have the, yeah, we don't have the, I wanted to see on acceleration the energy part. So actually let's turn on all these channels because I don't know which one is the one for these cars. So let's turn on all the MGUK, MGUH channels and find out which one carries some data. Gonna wait for the channels to load a bit. And then we go down. So, okay, interesting. So you can see that he does have more deployment here in a lot of situations where I don't across the lap. So he might be using a different mode there, right? So my deployment is set to balance. So I guess it only uses up until, is it the gear or is it the RPM? Seems to, or is it the speed even? Seems to be the speed potentially, right? So if we just stay here, it is full throttle, we're steering, we're not shifting up. So it's like the speed of, where's the speed there? 230 seems to be the cutoff point for the ERS. Probably earlier in his stint, it has a target percentage balance, target is 50%. Yeah. Okay, so you think in the first laps I'd actually have more speed, is what, that what you're saying? That could be. So he just does the lap while I'm trash. Might take much longer to build it. Copy. Okay, let me also check which. Okay, so that channel doesn't work. I guess that's then where the IBT file is empty, and maybe that's just some other cars have that. But we have it in kilojoule, so we have that. So we can turn off the percentage, deployment percentage. We don't have that, and we don't have the kilowatts, but everything else is there. So we can turn that off. The deploy percentage and the kilowatts can go. We don't need those. But do you think he changed quali? He changed to quali? Yeah. Okay, so we looked at 2 turns. Sorry, let's just keep going quickly through. Turn 3, we had that. Turn 4, 6. Actually, I'm happy that doesn't look too different, but I'm lacking a lot of confidence here for the brake. Like, he knows how much the car will take in a straight line. I don't, not at all. And I'm not confident swinging the car around here and pin it to the left because I just don't know where the track goes yet. He is more aggressive with a later apex. I have an earlier one, which then results in my line being a bit off where I should be braking. So that makes sense. Just got to throw it in harder here. Pin it to the inside more. There's a bit of a lift there for him on entry, whereas I thought, hey, you can take this flat. Wasn't smart, apparently. And then, yes, harder braking. So this is probably where it's going to hurt that I set the brake quite hard now with 2,000 out of 4,096 whatevers. So it's like 80 kilos now or something that I need to press. Yeah, I would expect, yeah, the car probably has a lot of grip available there that I'm not tapping into there yet. And he's still using a lot more assistance here from the ERS or MGUK. Right height front. Oh, he's going Why is my ride height increasing so much? It feels like I'm jumping and he doesn't for whatever reason. But this is not where he's lifting. So somehow I gain front ride height here over a bump a lot and he doesn't. Very interesting. And ride height on the rear as well. So I don't know. I might be too much to the inside. And if I go over that bump, the car jumps. So that's not going to help the downforce there. That's not helping the downforce. What else can we see? Zoom out again a bit. Then, okay, yeah, my braking isn't the greatest there. He pulled through the braking, the entire braking zone. I lose complete confidence there between the two corners. So more laps is the key here. Throttle pickup similar. I'm just more aggressive. Probably shouldn't be. Traction control is going to interfere with that. And gearing, he even goes lower here for turn, and he goes one gear down to first. I stay in second. Yeah. Target a cutout in the grass there. That's a nice hint. And what else do we have? Negative, but he also recharges more, whereas I don't, because my battery is charged. So he definitely set a different target or something, right? But he used more, so it's charging, so that makes sense. Okay, let's check the last section here where I lose so much. I lose a lot on entry because he goes actually flat out for quite a bit of the turn in phase while I'm already braking, right? So he just keeps carrying on speed, and that already sets me up to lose the majority of time here. So we're entering 1 second down. After the first turn, it's 1.26. So it's pretty much the whole gain I have in that section. It's just the entry. And then I gain back a little from just a nicer position there. And then here, it's almost equal through the last two corners. It kind of levels out because I have the better preparation for the last corner. He just has a more compromised entry to the last one there. So this equals out. But of course, he gains in that entry part here, more confidence, knows much better what he needs to do on the brake there. So turn one, earlier lift, later apex, commit to the throttle way before the apex. That's once I found the apex. Turn 2 towards 3, it was the same pattern really, just a bit earlier off the throttle. As soon as you start turning in, get that apex earlier, pin the throttle down, have a better second apex, and find the point over the crest where I really need to be on the inside. Braking for turn 3 looked good, but he was more committed to the inside, the apex more pronounced and a bit later as well, and the slowest speed a bit earlier. And then we have the whole downhill section where I really need to figure out to get in the straight line, use the huge amount of grip I will have when I go through, the bottom, when the elevation changes from going down to going up. There's, what did we call it? What do we call that? The hump, the negative hump, where the car has a lot of grip and where I can really smash the brakes almost, and then try to bleed off through the section and keep believing I will have grip, but gotta be really careful and low here with the input, where to not lock the rears. I feel this is going to be very tricky, that part here. That's the most tricky part, probably. And then slowest point there, he's much earlier. Actually hits an apex. I don't. Interesting. Okay. Compression, yeah. Well, yeah, the compression is what happens to the car, but it's not really... What do you call it in elevation wise? You have peaks, and what's the opposite of a peak? That's what we're looking for. I'm just missing the word. Ein Tal im Deutschen. A valley. It's a valley. Peak, valley, peak. That's how it goes. Dip or dip. Yeah. Okay. And then last corner was more commitment on entry there, but the rest, I think that was a bit over under between us. And now I talked so much and drank so much, I need to pee before we take it to another run. And we need to look into the ERS target. So we have 3 words now: dip, valley, and compression. Be right back. All right. More sport, Denny. Yeah, sorry. Data lab came to end. Pantorino. Yeah, I mean, we kind of threw the win away there. Okay, we wanted to do more driving, and so I should probably define buttons somewhere, but I don't. That's so. You want to know what is good in other games sometimes? Oh, we can see this actually, which, okay, this is the brake bias, and do I have this? Is for the TC somewhere there. Does, question to the iRacers, ACC has this option where you can define like a shift button on the keyboard, and you can define that on the wheel, and then you can put new functions on all buttons again. Does iRacing have something similar, or does iRacing have a long press of a button? Because that way I like ACC allows me to have, like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 rotaries. So I have like 12, 14 buttons plus the shifter. So I have 16 buttons, but with the shift key, I have 40, no, actually more, 48 buttons on the wheel. Modifier. Just hold and map. Just hold and map? So a long press, you mean? Because I just want to have the, like, the VRS, the ERS, where is it even? Deploy mode, right? That's what I want to have somewhere. Press shift plus another key. But then I need to press shift on the keyboard, right? Or I need to, but then I need external tool to tell my wheel button to act as the shift key on the keyboard, right? Yeah. Yeah, but do I need the actual shift key on the keyboard? Because then I need both hands. That's not the target. I would just want to have everything on the wheel. Anything can be the shift key, but where is that thing here? Where is the shift key that I want to define? Where is it here? I'm blind. Is it other controls? Combine on wheel. Oh, okay. Okay. So what I just want is the ERS map. Toggle traction control, no. Deploy mode set. So let's figure that out. And then it just cycles through. There's no up and down, I guess. Uh-huh. Decrease. That way. Done. So it's actually easier. So I could also do more shift keys, essentially. Anything is a possible combination. That's even better, I have to say. Mind blown. Let's see if it works. Uh-huh. Build balanced attack quality. But then we don't have a target. Can I set the target manually? So we set it to balanced first and then shift it to attack once we go on the second lap or something. Only 4 times per lap. Yeah, I just do it once, like start of the lap. That would be fine for me. Okay. Hey Rody, I don't feel differences between iRacing updates. For me, it always feels the same. Do I weave now on the outlap or do I just cruise? Oh, you see telemetry, unlucky. Sorry guys. It's difficult, okay? Yes, Victor. Go decent pace, run out lap, tire and Irish, and also work with chemical reaction. Going too fast makes it losing the Weichmacher. What is decent? You mean, so take care. So basically what you're telling me, if I go too fast, if I go too hot, I harden the tire. Is that what you're telling me? Oh, that's a lot of trust I need to have in the car here. Too much trust. Way too much. Is that the Weichmacher done now? Is my tire softener dead now because I went through the grass? Tire forever ruined? It's probably fine. Okay. Just checking how quickly recharge. So we go on attack now, okay. Hello. Oh, I can't change because... Yes. Only 4 times. Okay, I'm trying to do... That's what I mentioned earlier. I'm already starting to do too many things at once. And that's not working. So I should probably reset, not think about this, and actually just think about the driving that we just been looking at. We're overdoing it. That's not good. You shouldn't do too many things at once. Just focus on what you can actually manage. We're gonna keep it at balance for now, and we're gonna live with that. Yeah, that was the opening corner. Attack is for the last 2 laps, okay. Okay, can press the brake much more there. So someone wants to explain the difference between TC slip and TC gain. I guess the first one engages when, with how much slip, the second controls how much it intervenes. Yeah, okay, I can carry more speed there. It's insane. So if it... Oh boy. Trust. I think we can actually use 4th. Okay. We can already see in the left side delta that there's improvement in some sectors, but I don't want to push too much because iRacing is very penalized. You can't go over the limit and come back. You're just dead. Okay, that was pushing in harder. And already improving. Now trust. Wow, that trust part is so hard. Uh-oh. Bit white. Let's go! I'm insane, period. Okay, but they are in shared memory, not in the IBT, right? Look at the 204, 104 already happening. More trust. I don't trust that corner. And now we probably don't have enough of deployment left, right? Managing the speed here is so tricky. But we have a purple. I can totally live with a new purple. Just depends on the car. So does this one have ABS and TC marker? ABS of course not, but TC? Because we didn't find it. So now I will set the thing to build for a lap and then we attack the lap after again. Okay. Oh, green Delta Bob, we like that one. Do we need first here? Rody, I know that. I see it in front of me. I mean, in the telemetry, if there's the marker, if it's engaging. Not available live, yeah, but but it's not in the IBT either, which is post. Yeah, see, it's not. So if it's not in the shared memory, it might not. It's also not in the IBT because we're looking in the IBT. So attack. Trust. Oh god, more trust. I have trust issues. This is flat, by the way. Okay, that was too aggressive. Yes, IBT and shared memory are different. IBT is the telemetry format of iRacing, the file. Yes, gaining so much now on the straight just for more ERS. Another purple. Trust, trust, trust. Infinite gains, guys. Oh, we're close to losing the rear there. Okay, screw the ERS, die on me if you want to. I just need that purple. It ain't much, but it's something. More! Let's go! What do you mean broken? I don't care. Like I don't care at all for what the other cars do. BOP is entirely off the chart for me. It does not matter to what I do here. Daniel, no, it seems they removed from IBT the TC channel when it is active, but left the ABS channel break ABSF. Yeah, we have ABS, yeah. Denny, we just don't have TC. But Denny, aren't you? I mean, you can check Pulpometer for yourself. Didn't I give you access to the whole thing? If not, give me the account and I'll immediately give you the creator rights so you can have a look. So now we have to wait for the upload. We're only trailing Pedro by 4/10, and that is all I want right now, because we do, like, there's something left in the track state potentially and something just more laps, but I'm half a second behind one of the fastest guys in our team, so I'm happy right here. And I feel just looking at the telemetry has already helped. Like I just now want to find out if I got closer to what I wanted to do on the quickest lap there. In reality, it doesn't add power, but iRacing uses one-style deployment rules. Interesting. Okay. So here it's faster, but it shouldn't be. It should just save fuel. Okay. But it's still nice. Okay, so we have that here. Let's go back to laps. So we now wait for the detection there. Actually, we can, in the meantime, we can delete those that are not necessary, mark them, delete laps, boom, done. Let's wait for the others to appear. GTPs are fun, by the way. Yeah, it will be interesting to see deployments now. Yeah, I think, I mean, they probably thought about adding that electric to ICE switch sound, but maybe their entire model of what a car is and how the engines work together doesn't quite fit that. But yeah, that's what everybody loves about these cars, right? They start electric and then bam, a literal bam is coming. Nobody's commenting or complimenting me on the lap times I'm doing. Like, I'm complete new game where everything is much more difficult. And you're not saying a word. Not a single word. But yeah, sorry, the whole lap detection process just still takes a moment. So probably how you want to use this is do your run, then it uploads, then it processes, and while that is happening, you do other stuff like chatting or just doing something to your car setup already. What do you want to try with the next run or so? There's just a bit of a loading time still detecting the IBT, so especially if you do longer runs. And let me see how much fuel is in there actually in the car. My fuel is, if I knew where they have the fuel. If I knew where they have the fuel, it's in drive unit. Fuel level is 58 liters. So I don't know what that means, but 58 liters. Thanks, Danny. That is heartwarming. Thanks, everybody. Yes, that's what I needed. Some tapping on the back. Yannick. Yannick just has no shame. You can all get lost, guys. Yeah, what we're gonna add, I think, is priority lap detection for subscribed users, so that it goes faster. That just takes a bit long. Needs to be snappier. But overall, I just want to see if I improve my inputs, because I think I did. I mean, the lap time doesn't lie. How much did we improve lap time wise? We went from first run 105.4 was my quickest on the first run to 104.4 on the second run. Like, I improved a full second there. But it was, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laps. So it's a bigger IBT file, so it takes a moment to process, I think. Says Harm, both are you practicing for a championship? No. I'm just showing you how Popmeta works now with iRacing. Now the lap times are coming in finally. Yeah, I think there's some looking into that we need to do. Always takes a moment to find them. Let me get the 2, 9, 1, 2, 3, 9. Okay, so lap times are popping in. Just have to wait for the last couple. Like, once it's gone through the file, I think it goes much faster. Not happy with how long it takes. Do Daytona 24 in January, Victor? I'm tempted. I'm tempted. Yeah. Daytona is, well, it's a classic. I'm not a fan of the track, I think, but it's a classic. Okay, 104.4. I hope you can see, right? Yeah, I didn't screw this up this time. But we're debugging. Just send it to the, just talking to the dev how we can improve that. I think the processing goes much faster on the server side, but it's for whatever reason not showing. That looks much better. Now we are gaining in the last sector. That's what I like to see. Taking a 10th out of Pedro in the last sector. Not really losing much here, I'd say, in turn 4 to 6. Like, that's half a 10th. I can figure that out. No need to look at that. And then it's still turn 1. Still the same loss in turn 1, but turn 2 and 3, they are both better. Like, we had more than a tenth there, and now it's less than a tenth in those. And turn 1 is simply the same, at least on that lap, so I need to improve that one. But everything else is good improvement here. I'm not unhappy. Yeah, Victor, I'm in, I think. I don't see why not, if it doesn't clash with anything else. There's a message. You'll practice start practicing in 5 for Daytona in January. That's early. But okay, let's take a closer look. If I did my lifting, it got earlier. It's much more still, so I could probably be more aggressive here. I'm losing a lot of speed there still, so it only needs a tiny bit of kind of keeping the speed that we have. And also our top speed is much closer now, so the deployment difference that we made did its thing. Just still, yeah, need to do this even earlier. Interesting. Not hold it for so long on a low level and commit back right away, just off and on again. Wojciech. Ach, einfach Schule seit 4. Klasse haben wir Englisch oder so gehabt, ne? Und dann mein ganzes Simracing über, also keine Ahnung, seit ich 18 bin oder so, denn mein ganzes Simracing war eigentlich immer Englisch geprägt. Und dann habe ich auch auf Englisch studiert und so, also war halt einfach so. So then turn 2, the lift is, well, earlier, but it still needs to be even earlier. I'm still putting, but the apex is closer at least, and the slowest point is still too late, but the apex is there now and closer. And I also managed the second apex probably now, so it's highlighting that now. And I'm prepared earlier for turn 3, so yes, but that, yeah, it's just because I'm not carrying the speed that I should be carrying, so there's still more trust to have in that corner. I have trust issues with the car. This is Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, or short Mosport, yeah. And there's steering angle issues here, right? Where I lose the trust, I start steering, and I think iRacing doesn't like that. That's probably understeering the car already. Even though the yaw rate, yeah, it's a bit less on the peaks here, right? It's overall it's fine, but the peaks where the bumps are or something, my car doesn't rotate as much. Oh wait, no, that's a lower bump. Sorry, it still rotates. No, it's good. Rotation is good, but the initial rotation here is also good. Good. Now only here mid corner, there's a bit of a way he gets the car rotated more a bit. Couple degrees he gains there. So that's like, what's the difference here? 32 to 38 degrees per second. And if we do that for a tenth, there's a 6 degree change per difference per second between us. So within a tenth, it would be 0.6 of a degree turn more for him. And that matters in racing. No. GDP, no LMP2. No. True cars, real cars. No gentleman cars. He's tighter using the road patches, yeah, but like I can't be much tighter here. But yeah, it's still like I don't really know where that inside is gonna come when I go over the crest there. So yeah, that corner needs some laps to figure out. Turn 3 looks very good. I'm just braking too harsh still, so I can carry the speed longer. Apex placement, I'm later now than him, so I overcompensated a bit. Slow speed still much later, but overall we're getting much closer here. Still choppy inputs, he's much smoother. Throttle pickup could be more, but I guess I'm a bit out of line here as well. Yeah, no, he's wider there, so he trusts the car more. He knows how much it will still rotate. I'm trying to keep a gap to the outside because I never know if the car still keeps rotating. So yeah, that's just knowing the game better there. Just pushing a bit more, a couple more laps. But other than that, doing good here. Probably the power output here of the ERS is not really needed, but it's much more aggressive. But also we have the different setting. But now it's also more equal over the course of a lap, I guess. And turn 5, 6, the braking, much more choppy, but overall reaching higher peaks. Not consistent peak, but the trail braking much more pronounced and could still be carried deeper into the turn, but we're getting there. So we're improving. And then I got scared here in the end to see that I had to counter steer when I did the downshift as well, because I thought the rear might snap. But other than that, fair improvement. The data is moving closer to one another, and he has that shift to first here really, really late, and I have it much earlier, and that's where the rear gets all loose for me. So gotta use that later on when I want the rotation, not so early already. And now just let me change the last sector, which we took a look already. Well, okay, my braking is just gonna look choppy here. Okay, but I think we did carry more speed now. Not as much as he did. I feel the compromise is still better here. Like I'm doing a bit less speed initially, but then carrying more speed here in this section. So there I gain a lot. I'm better positioned for the last bit of track. So I keep my compromise there. Pedro, I don't know. He maybe VRS pedals, or I don't know. We can ask Pedro. Well, that's where am I? One sec. Not for me. VRS. Oh yeah, so they said they are using VRS conditions. Oh, and VRS uses 50% track state, and I used 42. Or has it improved by now? No. So let's go to 50% track state now, okay, guys? Yeah, that's something we need to change, because we can't be, hey, we use VRS settings, not tell what they are. Like, that's not working. Yeah, go ahead, Yannick. Hey, Venti. No. You've missed just missed the telemetry session. I improved a full second. And now I'm gonna improve more because we need to change the track state. I think we're gonna leave the temperature. Generate dynamic sky generate rather? No, we wanted, because we wanted to have slightly different temperature. We need 24 degrees. I don't know about the time of day that we need. We're just gonna keep that, but we need the track state needs to be 50 instead of 42, and let's see how much of a grip difference that does. Phil, what do you mean positional feedback on brakes? Oh, you mean the Chinese ones, or? So do we not generate? We put it to 50%. And then do we leave marbles on track? If selected, marbles and dust will be kept on track. Do we keep that? Is that a typical setting? Hybrid. So I'll leave the marbles for now. Okay, probably that's what people use. Wind speed, do we just turn wind to the lowest? And then go. Let's just keep the 50% track side and assume everything else has less impact, okay? Just want to see how much grip I feel now and if I have less of the trust issues. But yeah, given that I'm completely new and I was spinning on the default setups iRacing had, that was not as good with them. I was expecting the pro setups to be more sensitive, but they're good to drive. So recommendation here for Pedro setup already. So he has passed the first test, so to say. Remove marbles, and that sucks. Okay, so we're back out of the session and we're removing the marbles. Oh, I had removed them. Why? Oh, it's back to generate as well. So damn. Dynamics guy and all that. Denny, how about that? Dynamics guy generate weather. We wanted 24 degrees. Wind speed lower. Humidity, we just leave that. And now I start. Okay, now it's going to be fine. It needs to be fine now. But I was on the series. The problem is VRS weather is not necessarily that of the series, I felt. Because that got me to the 42%, and Pedro was saying they have 50% track state. Syriac, thank you. Generate weather important? Why? What does it do? Explain. But now I think we're matching the temperatures at least that Pedro had. So I'm going to try that for a lap while you explain why generating is important, okay? Do I actually have to accelerate slowly? Yeah, so same as an ACC really. In ACC it's even more drastic, like 1 degree, 1/10. So when I accelerate from the pits here, I should be careful, or is it okay to spin up the rears? Do they immediately die and lose their softener? And I guess we don't have ERS deploy when we go below a certain amount of throttle, right? So we can save that. Okay. So let's see how 50% grip feels, okay? When somebody says temperature does its thing, then we're gonna heat them up. Nope. That was too much trust. Too much trust. Okay, let me get in the groove again. Already used all the battery. Yeah, I know, Denny. That's why I'm asking. Oh boy. Stay inside, mate. But yeah, it's so difficult to work yourself towards that limit, I feel. We live or not. Oh, it's comparing against my optimals now, right? I'll read in a second. I just need to do my lap here again. So why are we slower now? Is it just the ERS that I need to charge? Why am I just driving bad now? Or did more grip not help me? I just had a longer run and it got better. And the tire got faster. I'm gonna build another lap. We're losing a lot on the straights right now without the ERS. So we'll have built it after this lap and then we just go on attack. I'm gonna read in a moment. So Danny, are you telling me I'm shit? Is that what you're saying? I'm gonna read the long message, but my takeaway is I'm shit. Not very kind. Oh, the rotation. Come on to the inside. Ah, that was so much time getting to that apex. But now I'm faster, so all good. I can improve, like the optimal improved. I'm using more battery now. Oh no! Still some battery left. I will need another 500 laps to get this right. Look at the gains. Oh, not really. Too aggressive. So now we need to save some battery for a couple laps, probably. But the lap time's still there. Okay, so... Oh god. This is so... Like, the grass change was so important because on previous versions you would be dead. But they changed this already in the last build, right? Not this one. So we can't charge like that, apparently. But we can charge like that. Mate, I can enjoy every game. It's quite easy. And I mean, there are tens of thousands of iRacing users. Not all of them are wrong. Most are, but not all. Yannick is gonna rewatch that later and gonna look through the stream, finding all the insults we made towards him. So now we have enough battery for another lap. No, because we're still building, idiot Niels. Of course, I need to change the mode. I will do next lap. Okay, overcooked. That's what I mean, it's so sensitive sometimes, and as you move towards the limit, you'll eventually go over, and that's why it's really, really penalizing. But can we assume the weather is now like similar to what Pedro used? With 50% track state, temperature's the same, is there any other factors that we need to consider? That's so tricky in iRacing. You sometimes have grip in places where you don't expect it, and you need to drive a different line. Okay, I can already save. Yeah. Yeah, I already told the guys, like, we can put this in the description of the data pack, it's not a problem. But we, of course, shouldn't say, hey, use VRS weather. So people go to VRS and check what the weather is. Like, no. That is the entirely wrong approach. Hey, in order to use our service, you need to actually use a different service. What? Think. Ah, yeah, first gear is a bit short. So, yeah, that's why the late downshift there. But I feel it's not as deadly anymore, everything. Like, when you make a mistake previously, you'd just be, I don't know, dead. What do you mean the unified standard weather, Denny? Standard weather of iRacing stuff. Yeah, that's good. That's how we can name it. But still, we don't want people to have to look it up elsewhere. We just need to have it visible, of course. What's my state here? I'm always too late on this one because I can't see it, so I'm not turning. No, I'm not trying GT3s. GT3s and iRacing suck, sorry. Period. They're completely dull. Dead cars. This one is okay, this lives. This one has a character. GT3s don't. So, one more clean lap potentially. So, now enough battery on board. Push. Turn in earlier, worked a little bit. Somehow keep exit speed. Okay, I was so much faster than in one time, but still, we keep some of the advantage. And I feel we can push even more here. There's more left in the car. Even better. Still some battery left, hope it lasts for the lap. Yep, that was too much. That was too much. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I can see the time. Hey, mate. Hey, Errol. Most sport, yeah. One sec. Honestly, you know, for me, this whole livery thing is different again than from ACC. So in order to get the livery, I need to do some mysterious things and read about it. So I haven't done anything of that sort. At LFM, AC LFM. What's the time? No, it's 1 p.m. So next thing I'm gonna do is actually go with a dog. Most certainly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually have a break here. Call it a day. You've seen what we can do. That was all what this was about, really. Getting a live test of Popometer using iRacing and seeing what I actually do different and how. Looking at the data can tell you quite a few things. And then just simply go faster right after. That was the plan here. But we also figured out that we need to change something about the weather, be much more detailed there, because that is crucially, that is very important for comparing data. You need to be in the exact same conditions, else you cannot compare. But by we have the BS Plus guys who all have like 8 to 10,000 I rating. There's no point to get the grid and go guys on Popometer. That makes no sense. We have the pro drivers. We have several over 10K in BS. So they know what they're doing and they do get to make the setups. Plus we have CDA doing pretty much everything. So everything's here. Yes, they already posted, like for IMSA and the GD Sprint series, we already have data on Popometer from the BS guys. And CDA has added several series. They are covered, I don't know how many series they cover, like 10 or so, but they are all there already. Like there's 24 data packs from CDA. There you go. So I was just using Pedro Sanchez Cadillac setup for this session for Mosport. And apart from relearning to drive, it's good. Like it is more stable than I thought. I was expecting it to be very sensitive, but it's not. So that was working much better than the preset. Though I tried to preset on another track, so who knows what this was really. For now, guys, I'm going to call it a day because the dog is getting impatient and other work is piling up in the background. But thanks for tuning in. Try it out yourself. I do think the stream has shown that it's quite valuable, even for someone who's already fast like me, could immediately see the differences I needed to change to get closer to Pedro's time, and we did make like a full second improvement somewhat. And the other part is getting the weather right, which is what we're gonna do next. So stay tuned, guys. See you for more. Well, tomorrow evening LFM Pro Series. And yeah, as we spoke with Victor, it looks like we're gonna do Daytona in January or something. Hopefully GDP, not LMP2. I would hate that. So calling it a day for now, guys. See you later. Bye.